Yes, we had come to this figure yesterday. We saw this is, see the model how it is. We have the macro environment, then we have the micro environment, and then the internal environment. I have given in different colors. So I'm just repeating, just revising what we did in yesterday's lecture. So people who have joined today, we are doing business environment. We saw what is business environment, the definition. I will just move very quickly through those yesterday's slides. So students who are there today and were not there yesterday will get a quick review. We saw what is business environment. We saw the definition of business environment. Then we went to what is the importance of business environment. Then we also saw the definitions according to Keith Davis and Brooklyn Gotch. Then we also saw the components of business environment, which is divided into internal environment and external environment. And then external environment again gets divided into micro environment. Micro environment is also known as task operating, and macro environment is also known as general environment or remote environment. Then external environment has got other factors, or you can say other components, such as promoters, shareholders, then the mission and objectives, management structure or the nature of management. Then we have internal power relationship, then company image, brand equity, then physical assets or facilities, the R&D, and the technological capacities, human resources, and marketing capabilities. External environment, we have customers, suppliers, competitors, publics, financiers, and marketing intermediaries. Then macro environment, we have economic factors, social, cultural factors, demographic factors, political or government factors, natural factors, technological factors, and global factors. All right. Now this is the lock and key method. Outside is the macro environment. Then macro environment, as we saw in the previous chart, political, environmental, social, and technological. Then we have the micro environment, which consists of the shareholders, competitors, suppliers, then the intermediaries and the consumers. Then we have the internal environment, which are made up of components are employees, cash flow, capital assets, materials, and structures. Now, this is a brief revision as to students who had not come yesterday. Then we have the SWOT analysis diagram, and then we'll have the SWOT summary at the right hand side. Now, internal environment analysis and external environment analysis, somewhere they are connected. Somewhere they are connected. So we have strengths, we have weaknesses, we have opportunities, and we have threats. Now this is a SWOT analysis diagram, and then we have the SWOT summary. What has happened exactly? Capitalize strengths, mitigate weakness. Mitigate weakness means we need to work on our weaknesses. Then we have to exploit the opportunities, and we have to avoid the threats. This is what. Now, the internal environment components have direct impact on business. Internal factors which have bearing on the decision of a business firm and which are generally controlled because the company has control over this. So the company controls these internal factors. Value systems, as we read from the first chapter, vision, mission, and objectives, management structure and nature, internal power relationship, human resource, and the company image. Then we have the internal power relationship and the human resources. So internal power relationship, as we see, whatever the relations we have with the top management, we have with the top management factors like the amount of support the top management enjoys from lower levels and workers. Now, as I said, we have three levels of management. If you see the pyramid, we have the top management, we have the middle management, and we have the lower management. So when we have the top management, when it enjoys the support from lower levels and workers, the shareholders and board of directors, it becomes very easy for them to take important decisions and side by side implement those decisions. Therefore, we talk about the relationship between the members of board of directors and the CEO is also very critical. Then we have human resources. The characteristics of the human resources like skill, quality, morale, commitment, attitudes would attribute to the strength and the weaknesses of the organization. Now, as I said, how we are going to do the SWOT analysis of the company, how are we going to form the SWOT summary, and how are we going to mitigate or take care of our weaknesses. The involvement initiative of the people at different levels may vary from organization to organization. Yes, because we have got different organization structures, we have different types of industries. Therefore, the involvement and initiative of people at different levels may be different. Some organizations, some organizations find it difficult to carry out restructuring or modernization because people are resistant to change. They don't want to change. They are not change agents. They are happy in their comfort zone. They do not want to come out of the comfort zone and step into the fear zone because the fear zone is full of challenges and growth is always in the fear zone. So some organizations find it difficult to carry out restructuring or modernization because of resistance by employees, whereas they are smoothly done in some others. In some companies, changes are welcome, right? People don't hesitate to move from the comfort zone to fear zone, but in some case, they are called as Fabian workers, Fabian. They do not want to move. They are busy, they are happy with the typewriters. They do not want to use computers, for example. Then we have the external environment. Now, this external environment is very, very important. Political, economic, social, technological, environmental, and competitive. Now, what happens is we can take care of the internal environment because it's just totally the business of the organization, the internal happenings within an organization. But an external environment can have impact on the decision making of the top management as well as the branding of the company. So we will see again, just to summarize, business environment, macro, micro, and internal. Now see what is this, right? Mission, objectives, again I repeat the same thing. Mission, objectives, management structure, internal power relationship, physical assets. Now company image, human resources, financial capabilities, technological capabilities, and marketing capabilities. On the left, on my left have we have finances, suppliers, customers, competitors, public, and marketing intermediaries. And on my right, that is economic, technological, global, demographic, socio cultural, and political. Now, if you see all these factors count to ultimately the business decision. So these factors play a very, very important role in taking the business decisions. Now see, internal factors, external factors, these are interlinked and these are very important for business decision. Again, external environment, two types, micro and macro. Okay, the macro environment is made up of, now I'm just talking about the macro environment, is made up of 6 different forces: economic, political, demographic, I think I've repeated this, social, cultural, technological, and ecological. Now just see, this diagram is more easy to understand. We have the company, then the external environment, competitive forces, the demographic forces, the economic forces, the natural forces, the technological forces, political forces, and cultural forces. Now let's see one force at a time. First is the economic environment. We will talk about economic environment. Okay. The economic powers identify with factors that influence customer buying power and spending designs. All right. Now, economic environment usually influences the buying power of the customer. Suppose, uh, one matter. Suppose an organization is ought to never begin exporting its product to a nation prior to have analyzed how much individuals will actually want to spend. For example, we have stopped exporting basmati rice to USA. Now, the government does not take this decision all of a sudden. It will analyze how much individuals will actually want to spend. So, if people are willing to buy basmati rice in our own country and we are having revenue generation, so what will the government say? Instead of selling the rice to some other country, why don't I sell in my own country and generate revenue? So, what will happen? Significant measures are what are we actually looking for? Gross domestic product, that is GDP, import duty, value added taxes, that is VAT, which now we don't have, trade and sales tax, and inflation, and personal taxes are right here. All right, personal taxes. Is it clear up till here? Economic environment? Yes. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Huh. Okay. Then political environment. Where political environment has an impact because, as we said, that the external environment is dynamic. Each business is restricted by world of politics. This includes laws, government offices, and strain or pressure groups, which impact and limit associations and people in general public. Now, how does it play? Accordingly, promoting and marketing choices are unequivocally impacted. Unequivocally means they have 50-50% impact and are influenced by the advancements in the world of politics. All right, promoting and marketing, they are highly influenced by advancements of world politics prior to entering another market. All right. Now we want to create another market segment for our products. What will happen? Prior to entering another market in a far off country, the organization should have a deep understanding of that country. We need to understand the political environment and the legal environment. Legal environment means what laws is the country following. So when we want to enter an offshore market, we need to understand two important things. One is the political environment and the other is legal environment. Now, what will happen? What will be the enactment mean for the business? Means what will be the impact on business? What will be the effect on business? And what rules does it have to comply with? Now, what rules we need to follow there? Right, in the other country if you want to start up a business, and what laws might restrict the company's capacity to be effective, which laws on the foreign land can affect the company's working. For instance, let us for example, laws covering issues like ecological protection, pricing, product safety, competition, and safety regulations. Now these are the instance means. For example, I just cut this word for you and write for example. All right. So instance means for example. See, which laws will impact the business? Ecological protection, like some countries are more towards nature, then pricing, then the product, then the safety, the competition, the safety regulations, and we will all need to follow this if we have to start a business offshore. Offshore means abroad. Then the demographic environment is identified with individuals. The name The name alludes to the term demography and to the investigation of human populace. Populace means, I will put another word for you. I deliberately did not write, so you understand in front of me. So we are more interested in the population. This incorporates means this includes. Now see here, I'm removing the word incorporates. I'm writing something else so you understand the meaning. This incorporates means this includes size, how much the population is, okay, population size, then the age, the sexual orientation. Sexual orientation means, see, I'm writing into the bracket, how many males and females in that particular area. All right, I'm making it simple as we are studying. The density of the population means in one given area, suppose in I give you an area of 1000. Why? Who disabled my sharing? You cannot see the screen, isn't it? All right, I'll continue. Okay, the density of the population, the occupation. Occupation, now you cannot see the screen, I think. It's disabled from there. Students, can you see the screen?
No, ma'am.
No, it's got disabled from there, from the host.
शेअर करा ना बरं स्क्रीन.
No, it has got disabled from there. I'm trying to share from here. It has got disabled from there, beta. 1 minute. Huh? It's got disabled from there. I don't know, but we will. I will definitely share this with you. I've made it more simple now. The density of the population. All right. 1 minute. Still, I will. What's wrong? 1 minute. Huh? Why did they disable this? मैंने disable कशाला केली? All right, but still, we will continue. I will show it to you again. The density of the population, how much people are staying in a given area, then the occupation of the people plays a very important role. Because if people are having a good job, they are earning well, the standard of living goes up, all right? And their purchasing power also increases, means they can go outside and buy. And different insight of statistics. Insight of statistics means what? Now you're doing all your SIPs, you have data, you have so much of data, you need to do that data processing, and you need to come to a conclusion, right? So how will you come to a conclusion? Maybe you'll make a pie chart, or you'll make a histogram, or you'll make a bar graph, right? So that is statistics. So you need to come to a conclusion. One minute, I'm just again trying to share. Yes, it's come. Now, can you see the PPTs now? Yes. All right. I hope you all can see. PPTs are visible now.
Yes, ma'am.
Or there was something technical issue at that end. No problem. So we saw the demographic environment. Now the socio-cultural environment. Now the socio-cultural environment will tell us about those factors which influence the societies, right? Now influence the societies means what? A particular society will have inclination. Inclination means curl, right? They will go towards, say, shopping in Toshiba, right? One part of the society. Oh, we will do shopping at MG Road. Maybe a third part of the society says, okay, we will go to Bombay to shop. So that is the socio-cultural environment. Now, the reason for these variables, right? Because you never know. See, you have a group of people and we work on three parameters. One group goes to Tulshi Bagh, one group goes to MG Road, and the other group goes to Mumbai. So the reason for this variables is framed by the way that the individuals are essential for general public and social gathering that shape their values. Now, in which group you belong, your thinking pattern, your values and beliefs and your qualities will get generated or will get shaped in that way. Now, technological. Now, technological environment. Technological environment structure plays a critical impact. Critical impact means what is the meaning of impact? It has an effect. All right. It has an effect. Now, what type of effect it has in the macro environment? They identify with factors that make new innovations. New innovations means what new things are coming up in the market. And in this manner, they make up new market opportunities and new products. Now, let's say a mobile phones, what it was before, right? The mobile phone underwent so much of evolution and so much of innovations. Now we are getting smartphones, right? Samsung is tied up with Android. We are using smartphones. We can click pictures. We can send our emails. We can see movies. We can listen to music. We can shop on the mobile phone. So that is called as innovation. A technological environment is relatable to each individual. Relatable means we can relate relate to each individual thought of remote corresponding methods, right? Example, cell phones, tablets, and many more. Okay, I'll just remove this so that you understand the meaning of the sentence. So what happens if you see everybody has got a mobile phone? Everybody, even if you see a fruit seller or a vegetable vendor, he's using what's it platforms for paying. He's using digital platform, Paytm, Bharat Pay, GPay. This might mean the rise of chances for a business, yet look out with new innovation. Okay, so what is happening? The chances for the business are increasing. The chances for the business are increasing with innovation. Is it clear? Anything you want to know up till here? Yes? Do you all
Yes, ma'am.
want to know? Are you understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
Who is this? Yes, ma'am. May I know your name?
Sakshi.
Sakshi. Yes. Okay. Then ecological environment. Ecological environment means all whatever is there in nature, that is ecology. We stay in an ecological environment or biological forces in which the macro environment are significant since they are about the natural assets. Now, any company for that matter has to do a CSR activity because somewhere we are considering that we are using the ecological environment that are required as inputs by advertisers or which are impacted by their promotion and marketing activities. Can you say what is how come they're impacted by marketing activities, ecological environment? Any idea? Please think over this point. Additionally, natural concerns have made unequivocally as of late. Okay, I'll remove this. Let's make it easy. I'm deliberately doing it in front of you so you understand what I've removed. Additionally, natural concerns have filled, which makes the biological environment a critical, means the important. Critical means important, important variable. Now, variable means, what is a variable? You do not know the quantity. What we studied variable in maths, we do not know the quantity. So it's an X to consider. For example, world, air, and water contamination are features each advertiser ought to know about. So, each advertiser, whenever you're doing a market promotion, we have to understand how are we playing with the environment. For example, if you build a factory and you are just throwing the waste products into the water, you are hampering, you are playing with the environment. So, in order, what are you going to pay in return? You're going to do some CSR activities. Then, what is a microenvironment? A microenvironment is a localized environment that surrounds a particular cell, tissue, or organ. Okay, now I am telling you in terms of bio. This environment is composed of different molecules and ions that interact with the cell. Now, see, this is a microenvironment related to our body, but in a similar way, we have a microenvironment which deals with the organization. Just to have a no effect, if not required, you can leave out this. Now, just see elements of microenvironment. We have the customers, one who pays to acquire the products. Then we have organization, consists of owners, business development, and the employees. Then we have the market, price sensitivity. Yeah, what is going to be the price? Then the market maturity and cost structure. Is the market available for the product right from the beginning, or we have created a new market? Then we have intermediaries, means ones who act as a bridge between the manufacturer and the marketer. They may be the wholesalers, they may be the distributors. Then competitors, other entities that compete for resources as well as markets. And then we have the suppliers. Suppliers, with their bargaining power, affect the cost structure. So this is again the highlight of microenvironment. Then we have customers and consumers. Oh, you manufacture lots of goods and all, right? And you create a market. Oh, I'm going to sell my goods here, but unfortunately, there are no buyers. What will happen? What will happen? You won't be able to sell. Customers are people who buy an organization's products, services. In simple words, an organization cannot survive without customers, right? Can you? Because the customers are the ultimate users of the product or services. For example, a husband might purchase a product for his wife. All right. So he's buying a product for his wife. So in this case, the husband is the customer and the wife is a consumer. Then competitors. Every business has competition. Competitors are other organizations that compete with each other for both resources and markets. All right, for both resources and markets. Hence, it is important that an organization is aware of its competitors and in a position to analyze threats from its competition. A business must be aware of its competitors, their strengths, that means a SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses, and the most aggressive and the powerful competitors at all times. Further, an organization can have a direct or indirect competitor. When organizations are involved in the same business activity, they compete for both resources and markets. This is direct competition. Now you see a mobile phones. What were there? Redmi. Then you have Samsung. You have Apple. And which other brands? Xiaomi. Then Oppo, right? Am I right? So these are the different brands and they are competing. They are the same product and they are competing for both resources and markets. So in case of mobile phones, this becomes a direct competition. This becomes a direct competition. For example, uh, we are seeing Pantene and Sunsilk shampoo companies are direct competitors because they are both are shampoos. On the other hand, a five-star holiday resort and a luxury car company are indirect competitors because the product is different, yes, but the market is the same. Any difficulty up till here? Yes, any difficulty up till here? Please answer. Any difficulty up till here?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Now we have the organization. One of the most important aspect of the microenvironment of an organization is the self-analysis. Now, I belong to an organization. I have to do my self-analysis. That means at an individual level, I need to understand my strengths, my weaknesses, my objectives, and the goals of the business and the resource availability. Now, we have owners, people who have a major shareholding in the organization and have vested interest, means they have interest in the vested interest, means they have shown interest in the well-being of the company. These are the owners. Then board of directors. The board of directors is elected by the shareholders. Right now, why we need the board of the directors to check the general management, to keep a check on the general management of the business, and ensure that the shareholders' interests are met. So, okay, because why shareholders' interests are met? Because the shareholders are investing in the organization. Then employees. People who work in the organization are major contributors to its success. It is important that all employees embrace the organization goals and objectives. Now, embrace means everybody follows the organizational goals and objectives. That means in the bracket, I will write goal congruence. I've written goal congruence. Your vested means they have shown interest, for you simple language, shown interest in the well-being of the people. Now markets. The market is much more than the sum of all the customers. The organization must study the market in terms of its actual size. How big is the market for the product? The potential growth, is the market going to grow, and its attractiveness. But there are some important issues. There are some important issues. When we talk about market, the cost structure of the market, the price sensitivity of the market, the technological structure of the market, the existing distribution system of the market, and the maturity of the market. Now, what do you mean by the price sensitivity? Can anyone? You all have studied economics, right? What do you mean by price sensitivity? Any idea? No one? All right. Okay. Now, I'll just write here for you to understand. Uh, it is the degree. It is the degree to which to which the sorry the the demand changes when the cost of a product or service changes. All right, if the demand changes, what will be the if the cost changes, what will be the demand of the product? Will it be the same or will it change? That is called as price sensitivity. Is it clear? Then what is the cost structure of the market? Any idea? Cost structure of the market? Anyone can tell me?
The cost structure refers to the
Yes? Anyone? Commerce students? I'm just telling this for you. The cost structure. Cost structure can be the breakdown, right? Please write if you have a notebook, the breakdown of expenses of expenses incurred. Incurred means what we have spent, incurred in the process of promoting and selling the products, right? Now this is called as the cost structure. So see, this is the cost structure of the market. All right. Now this is the price sensitivity of the market. Now what is the next point? The next point tells us the technological structure. Now the word technology itself tells you many things. So that is called as a technological market. You know, technological market has many small markets. One minute, I'll put it more into proper words. We will have the technological market. One moment, please. The technological market or the technological structure will always tell us what impact it can have on the business environment. So how will technological marketing affect the environment? It can tell us that the business has created more targeted markets. All right, they have created targeted markets in a such a way by providing, you know, it's all about data now. So they'll have an access to all the wealthy customers data. You remember, you get calls from what do you say, Voda. Every day you get, oh, credit card le lo, ye le lo. So what is that? That is a technological market. They have an access to your phone numbers and then they start calling you. So what are they doing? They're collecting his data and they have access to the data from which they call us and they try to understand the behavior of their consumers and the preferences of the consumers. Then the existing distribution system of market. How are the goods distributing? What are the channels of distribution and the maturity of the market? All right. Then we have the suppliers. The suppliers are another important component of the microenvironment. Organizations depend on many suppliers for equipment, raw material, etc., to maintain their production, right? Because they are the suppliers who will give them the equipment, who will give them the raw materials. Suppliers can influence the cost structure of the industry, right? If the raw material cost is going up, definitely the cost of the final product may also rise. Now, intermediaries. Intermediaries are also the major determining force in business. Most customers are unaware of the manufacturer of the products, right? So, between the manufacturer and the buyer, there is someone called as an intermediary. Now, the intermediary can be a wholesaler, he can be a distributor. So, most of the customers are unaware of the manufacturer of the products they buy since they approach retailers, departmental store, chain stores, or online stores or their purchases. We don't know from where the goods are coming. So this is with all the business environment. Up till here, do you have any difficulty? Anything? Yes? Do you have any problem up till here? Please let me know. Do you have any problem up till here? Any issues up till here? Please answer. Then in continuation to this, after the environment, we have something called strategic planning. Okay. Now, okay, we have seen what is the business environment. We have seen the external environment. We have seen the internal environment. We have seen how the external and internal environment are hand in hand, how they are related, and what can be the factors which can affect the business. Now, after environmental scanning, we have got something called as we have the strategic planning. Strategic planning is a process in which again the leaders define the vision for their future and identify the organizational goals. It is very simple. And then today I'll complete strategic planning, and then we will begin with the analysis of the external environment from Monday onwards. Strategic planning is an organizational management activity that is used to set priorities, focus energy and resources, strengthening operations, ensure that the employees and other stakeholders are working towards common goals, establishes agreement around then the intended outcomes, what can be the results, and it assesses and adjusts the organization's working. Now, just see, this is strategical planning, very important. This what is the cycle? Strategic plan. I made a spelling mistake here. Then we have the proposed goals. We have the issues, right, to address. Then we have the initial options. Then we have something called as a gap analysis. And then we have something as SWOT analysis. Now, see, everything is linked. It is a cycle. Yesterday I had done this, I think, but still I'll repeat because I think yesterday we did this, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we have done this one moment. Yes. Now, the most important in strategic planning is the environmental scanning, which I'm going to take. We have seen about the internal and the external environment, and we will see now how the external environment is going to play a very, very important role. Right? Yes. Again, I repeat, we saw two environments, internal and external. Now let's study external environment analysis. What is environmental analysis? Analysis means to study. External analysis can help businesses adopt to change, right? If you're not going to be a change agent, it becomes very difficult to survive. Adapt to change and streamline their current products to fit the needs of their customer base better. So the products have to be streamlined according to the demands of the customer. So what happens? Oh, you do a market research. What do the customers want? Right? Market researchers come into the market. They talk to the customer. What type of product they would like. Then he comes and he discusses with his core team in the organization, and they start working as per the demands of the customers. Regardless of whether you are a business owner or a finance professional, conducting an external analysis can help guide your company to success. So, external environment, see, internal environment can be taken care of, right? Then, external analysis is also called as environmental analysis, is the process by which businesses objectively assess the changes. Assess means to to study to study the changes in the industry and broader world that could affect their current business operations. So they are studying the changes not only in the industry but also worldwide. Companies do this to ensure that they can adapt to changes and continue to succeed within an industry. Then, what is an appraisal? Environmental appraisal. There are numerous factors that affect the organization and its operations. Now, which are the factors? The factors can influence the organization in a positive way and in a negative way as well. So how will you study these factors? All right. First of all, the first and foremost thing is you will identify the issues and challenges, right? Secondly, issues and challenges existing in the external environment is extremely important for the organization. You have to study this. Okay, but how will you study this? How will you identify this? So, in order to identify the factors in the external environment, we have something called as an appraisal process of the industry's environment. We always appraise, we try to study the industry's environment. Appraisal facilitates the managers with the ability to study the competitive structure, all right, the competitive structure and the competitive position of the organization. Where does our organization stand? See, we have got, they always come out with the Forbes 500 list, the Fortune 500 list, right? Every year they say which man is the richest man, which industry is doing well. So we need to keep a tap on all this. So better start reading Economic Times now, all of you all. Now, levels components of environmental appraisal. By analyzing the external environment of the business, the marketeers are able to identify and highlight the opportunities. So you need to highlight the opportunities. All right. Then we need to highlight the threats. We need to highlight what are the strengths and the weaknesses. That means what? We need to have a thorough understanding of demarcation. Like we need to understand the opportunities from the threats and the strength from this weakness. The factors which are not dependent on organization and their existence is not based on the activities of the organization are called as external factors. Now, these factors are not dependent on the organization. They are not considered, they are not related to the internal environment of the organization. They are outside the organization. Now see here. When we do the SWOT analysis, we have seen strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. Now, strengths and weaknesses the internal, are internal, opportunities are and threats are external, and opportunities and threats, they're not in the control of the organization. Opportunities are those situations that organization can use for their advantage. All right. So it becomes a positive situation. While threats are those negative situations that, if not tackled promptly, can harm the well being of the organization. So you have to study strengths and weaknesses. Yes, they are based on the internal environment, but opportunities and threats, they are based on the external environment. From opportunities, the organization can definitely draw some advantage, while threats are in a negative situation, threats are negative functions. If they are not taken care, they can create problems to the organization. Now just see, when we analyze or when we study the external environment, we need to see the following areas. One is the environmental scanning, other is the industry analysis, and the third is competitive analysis. All right. I'll just tell you we are going to do this in depth. So I will just highlight you today these three factors, and then from Monday onwards, we are going to see in detail. Environmental scanning, in environmental scanning, the broad environmental factors are analyzed. Now, environmental factors, as we studied, what are the environmental factors which needs to analyze? We need to study our competitors. We need to study the government policies. We need to have a competitive edge, right, over the competitors in the market. We are in the direct market, we are in the indirect market. These factors are not a part of the organization's internal environment and hence are uncontrollable in nature. We cannot control them because they are not in the internal part of the environment. These factors influence the business in a significant manner. These factors are a part of the macro environment or the general environment. All right. Can you control these factors? Can you control economic factors? Can you control political, legal, and technological factors? No, we cannot. We cannot control. Then industry analysis. Industry analysis is a tool which will help us to access or study the, the degree of competition and the complex process, the complexity within a particular industry. With the help of industry analysis, the marketeers study and scrutinize. Scrutinize means they analyze. You can say even analyze. Scrutinize is to say analyze thoroughly the macro environmental factors that influence a particular industry. Industrial analysis helps the strategic leaders formulate various strategies to neutralize. Means to neutralize means to take care. I'll write here in simple English. To take care of the threats and reap the benefits from the opportunities. Reap means enjoy the benefits from the opportunities. Various environmental forces to be studied in the industry analysis are what are we going to study? Bargaining power of the bargaining power of buyers and suppliers, position of the business, competitors, and the new entrants. Who else is entering into the market with the same product? So what is industry analysis? It is a tool which is used to assess or study the degree of competition and the complexity within a particular industry. I'll make it more easy. With the help of industry analysis, the marketeers study and scrutinize. Scrutinize means analyze. One minute. Analyze the macro environmental factors that influence a particular industry. Industrial analysis helps the strategic leaders formulate various strategies to neutralize, that is, to take care of the threats. Okay, how will you take care of the threats now? Because if they're not taken care, it will harm the organization. It's a negative entity, a negative attribute, and reap the benefits from the opportunities. Various environmental forces to be studied in the industry analysis are the bargaining power of the buyers, right? You go to Toshibag, he tells you something is for 10 rupees, you say, give me in 7 rupees, right? Similarly, the suppliers will also bargain with the manufacturers. Then position of business and competitors and the threats of new entrants as well as the substitutes within the industry. Then we have competitive analysis. While appraising the external environment, it is very important again to analyze the strengths and the weakness of the existing and probable competitors. We are studying the strengths and weaknesses of our organization also, as well as our competitors also. It helps the organization to formulate the strategies in order to succeed in the highly competitive environment. It also outlines the strategies adopted by the competitors. Outlines means it will also study, na? It will study what strategies your competitor is putting in place. The influence of competition is directly proportional to the degree of concentration in the industry, right? Like if you say, beta, how will I explain this? The influence of competition is directly proportional to the degree of concentration in industry, how much hold he's got in the industry. For example, we have Airtel, we have Vodafone, we have Jio, and which else? Which other service we have? Airtel, Vodafone Idea, and Jio, right? Now, what is the degree of concentration? Maximum people are using Airtel, or how many people are using Jio? If the concentration of the industry is high, the influence of competition is also high. Competitive analysis will help the organization here to identify threat and opportunities. Now, every analysis is working, some are working on the threat and opportunities, some analysis work on strength and weaknesses. So this is called as competitive analysis. All right, now just see, we have a process of environmental appraisal. Procedure of environmental appraisal. First of all, we need to understand the nature of environment. When I speak about nature of the environment, internal and external, then we have to analyze the past influences of the environment factors. What had happened in the past? How did the change in policy affect the business? Then what are the competitive forces? Who can be our probable competitors in the market? Then according to the SWOT analysis of the competitive forces, we need to see our strategy, we need to study our strategy, as well as we need to study the strategy also of our competitors. Then we need to identify the opportunities and threats. Opportunities, yes, we can have a competitive advantage, and threats in a negative situation, if they're not taken care, they're not good for the organization. All right. Up to here, is it clear? Is it clear up till here? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah. What I'm going to do is, I'll be stopping here, because then we need to study in depth the pest analysis, quest analysis, SWOT analysis. So one analysis, TPO analysis, we need to study. I'm going to take in detail pest analysis. Then we have the components of SWOT analysis. Is it clear? Now from Monday onwards, I'm going to start with the analysis. How many analysis we need to study? Quest analysis, pest analysis, ETOP, and SWOT analysis. If you, again I repeat, any difficulty, if you have not understood, please feel free to come to the placement cell and ask me. I have given you certain homework, right? It is for your own good. So side by side, you start preparing for your examinations. You know, we are targeting on A+. I'll be very happy if you get an O grade in all the subjects, right? I hope your SIPs are going on well. If you still have any difficulties, come to the college. Don't wait till the last moment. Is it clear? Yes? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, who is this? Yes, ma'am. Who said yes, ma'am? And who else is there? Ishika is there. Sakshi is there. Renuka is there. Okay. How many of are there? Okay. Shreya, Komal. Shreya.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you are there. Komal.
Yes, ma'am.
Komal, how is your SIP going on? Sonali. Prithvi. Shreyas. Vishal Singh. Vishal, how is your SIP going on?
Yes, ma'am.
Shreyas Manthalkar, Sania, Atul, Abhishek, Tejal.
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. If you have any difficulty, please come and ask me. Don't wait for the last moment. All right? Yes? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
I have given you questions for the weekend. Please write it. It is a practice session. It is for you to understand. And if you still don't understand, please feel free. All right. I'll end the session today. We will meet on Monday. Thank you for attending the session and have a nice day. Have a nice weekend ahead. Bye-bye.